The National Executive Committee of our great party at its 97th meeting extensively deliberated on issues of urgent national importance, as well as the preparation of our party for the 2023 general elections, and resolved as follows. 1. The National Executive Committee of the party unanimously passed a vote of confidence on the National Working Committee, the NWC, led by Senator Dr. Yosha Ayu, for effectively managing the affairs of the party and restated its confidence in the NWC to lead the PDP to victory in the 2023 general elections. 2. NEC received and accepted the resignation of the chairman of the Board of Trustees, Senator Walid Jubrin, and accepted the nomination of Senator Appoints Wabara, the Secretary of the BOT, as acting chairman. 3. NEC thanks Senator Jubrin for his loyalty and commitment towards the unity, stability, and success of the party at all times, and urged him not to relent in his service to the party and the nation at large. 4. NEC congratulated the party as well as the Osun State Governor-elect, Senator Ademola Adeleke, for our party victory in the July 16, 2022 Osun governorship election. 5. NEC commended the NWC, the Board of Trustees, PDP Governors Forum, National Assembly Caucus, zonal and state caucuses, other leaders, critical stakeholders, and all the organs of the party for the successful conduct of the 2022 National Convention, as well as all primaries for the election of our candidates for the 2023 general elections. 6. NEC unanimously ratified the list of candidates of the PDP as submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission by the National Working Committee of our party. 7. NEC congratulated His Excellency Atiku Abubakar and His Excellency Ifeanyi Okowa on their emergence as presidential and vice presidential candidates of the PDP for the 2023 presidential election, respectively. 8. NEC also congratulated all the governorship, senatorial, House of Representatives, and State House of Assembly candidates of the PDP for their emergence as flag bearers of our party at various levels. 9. NEC commended all leaders, members, critical stakeholders, and supporters of our party across the country for their continued steadfastness in the PDP's mission to rescue, rebuild, and redirect our nation from the nightmarish misrule of the failed APC. Now, state of the nation. And that's number 10, communique of the NEC. NEC strongly decried the worsening state of the nation's economy, with attendant excruciating hardship occasioned by the corruption, insensitivity, incompetence, and harsh economic policies of the inhumane and ambitious APC. 11. NEC also is appalled by the worsening insecurity in the country, occasioned by the obvious complicity of the APC administration, which continues to condone and enable acts of terrorism in various parts of the country. 12. NEC lamented the failure of the APC government to address the industrial action by the Academic Staff Union of Nigerian Universities. NEC lamented that the APC is relishing the agony, the pains and suffering of parents and students of Nigerian public universities due to the prolonged strike action. 13. NEC condemned the constant display of arrogance by the Minister of Education, Madam Adamu, in handling the issues of ASU strike, and called for a more constructive engagement by stakeholders to resolve the matter. NEC also condemned in the strongest terms the appointment by President Muhammadu Buhari, and this is very important. NEC also condemned in the strongest terms the appointment by President Muhammadu Buhari of card-carrying members of the APC as INEC resident electoral commissioners. This unpatriotic act is a brazen plot by the APC to manipulate and rig the 2023 general elections against the will of Nigerians. The PDP demands that President Muhammadu Buhari immediately withdraws the APC members nominated as resident electoral commissioners, failure of which has the capacity to trigger serious political crisis that can threaten the 2023 general elections and derail our democratic process. Then the PDP campaign structure. NEC approved the unified campaign structure across the country for the PDP for the 2023 general elections, which will focus more on the grassroots. NEC approved the proposed structure and organogram of National Campaign Council as well as the National Campaign Management Council for the 2023 general elections. NEC also approved the structure for campaign councils at the states, local government, ward and unit levels. NEC unanimously empowered the NWC to modify and adjust the structure of the campaign councils as and when the need arises. NEC received and approved the proposed structure for zonal reconciliation committees to be set up to ensure that our party represents a common front ahead of the 2023 general elections. NEC also received and approved the composition of the Manifesto Review Committee to review the manifesto of the PDP ahead of 2023 general elections. Finally, NEC charged Nigerians to remain united in rallying towards the success of the PDP at the 2023 general elections and commend the onerous task of rescuing and rebuilding our nation. Thank you very, very much for listening.
Thank you, gentlemen. Because I'm sure the text is very clear and there's no ambiguity or clarification. So on this note, this press conference briefing comes to an end. Thank you very much for listening. Any question? Okay. Name on me.
You spoke about the organogram of the campaign council. We need to know a little about the composition. Who is heading it? Who is the DG? Who is the chairman? It's important to us.
What the NEC approved was the structure and has given the power to the NWC. Another stakeholder, of course, the president candidate and his campaign to populate that. Of course, this will go down because we said to you, it goes even to the units. So we can't sit down here and tell you who is who, what. However, within the next couple of days, you'll probably be hearing exactly the details of individuals that are in one position and the other. So it's a going process. Of course, the NEC will not tell you who the name is. The NEC cannot approve structure, which is what we have done.
Let me as a follow-up, sir. Good evening. My name is NWC. I work for the Sun newspaper. You talked about NEC approving the organogram or the structure of the campaign. Can you let us know what is this structure? Is it different from what obtained in the past? If it is, can you give us some more details?
Yeah. Clearly, it's different and it's now the PDP is actually, and I'll put this on record. You recall with the new computerization, digitalization in the world, INEC is gone largely digital. And if you're going to succeed, you must be reflective of that. And that's what we've done. You recall that INEC commended the PDP as the best digital compliance party in this country. Consistent with that commendation from INEC, this campaign structure is tilted towards that. You see more emphasis on communication in terms of digital communication, in terms of computerization, particularly because of the introduction of beavers. What it means that we have to have people that are comfortable with communication using computer, using phones, and ensuring that those are people that can really participate in the electoral process without any hitch. We know that that is critical to success for our party. And in the campaign structure, a large chunk of that part is dedicated to that structure, the operation area, particularly in telecommunication department of that. So you will see that as we unfold the structure of that, but more emphasis in that regard because of the changing times and because of the digitalization that the electoral processes with the Electoral Act has just introduced.
Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Please.
The NEC has finished. Organogram, structure, blah, blah, blah. APC has announced members of their names that will lead their campaigns. We are not. Who is the chairman and the DG of the PDP campaigns? Is it true that the chairman of the PDP campaign is the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, Alhaji Aminu Waziri Tambawa? And is it also true that he will resign or he has resigned? In terms of human being, we want to know the face of who leads the campaign. Because what we had is because of the disagreement of what happened inside the NEC hall. You people were unable to put faces to the structures and organogram. Can you help us to avoid us speculating? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. These days, each time you ask me because I get excited about it. There are so many angles to it, and that's interesting. That's journalism, and I enjoy that. Number one, I'm clear. I will recall yesterday we had a conversation, and I said to you what was true, and I'm sure you were sure what I said to you was the truth. I came into this job to say that we'll be confronting the liars with the facts, and that's what we do. And PDP is known for that. There's no idea of at the NEC hall, at the meeting, that there was any indication that there was any form of disagreement about putting a face. In any event, if you know how the NEC works, that is not the job of the NEC. It's like a board of a director of a company. It's set a framework. Then the management go to do the details. That's what happens there. The NEC is like the board of directors. They send it to the management committee, which is the NWC. And they have said, we'll give you this mandate to go do that. Do the consultation. Have all the stakeholders involved. That's what we're doing. You mentioned APC. Each time you say that, you're comparing a party with a special purpose vehicle. I mean, that's something no comparing. We have structures here. We have organs. We have processes. And you can see in the last 48 hours. That's what we've been doing. We kept you vigil here. Why? Because you are interested in the future of this country. You are interested in what we do as a party because indeed we're a party. You are not interested in what APC do because it's a special purpose vehicle. And they're dying, you know that. They're dying by installment. And you know that. That's why you're not interested there. Each time we have this engagement with PDP, and I'm excited because Nigerians have a right to know what we do. Because we hope and we expect that Nigerians will participate with us, partner with us to continue to rescue this country and start the rebuilding process. So we welcome this question, but nothing like such happened. What the NEC approved is the structure of the campaign, and then the NWC, and there I mentioned it. They actually said, even the structure we have approved to you, if and the implementation you find that it is not working as it should, you are at liberty to alter it. It's there. And when I give you the details of that, you probably see these details. I mean, I guess maybe you haven't had the hard copy or the electronic copy, that's why. But you will have seen that even in the approval, NEC says, if you find that this structure we have approved for you is not working when you get to the practice, then you can change it. Because we don't need you to come back again to write or to seek for approval. So that's why. So what you imagine happened at the NEC hall at the meeting did not happen.
Then the one question, sir. We can answer.
Come on, do this. Come and do this. Come. That's what
The
you
chairman, has he resigned?
Sorry?
I asked a two-legged question.
Yes, sir.
The first was the explanation of the organogram.
Oh, the second leg was about if Governor has resigned. As at time, as I speak to you, I have no information that he has resigned, and if he has resigned, I will be in the best position to know. So right now, there are procedures for resignation. When the BOT chairman resigned, it was communicated and said in this communique. So if he had resigned, of course it will be part of it. So those are speculation. Wait until he resigns, then you let you know.
There is this report going on online, and our officers have called us to confirm that Wabara has been announced and appointed the DG of the campaign council. Can we now say it's fake news? Can we consider that is fake news?
I don't know your categorization about fake news or not fake news. It is not true as at this time. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.